100 subscribers! Hi, I'm PerfectPawesome, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to it. Today, we are celebrating my channel reaching 100 subscribers! If all of my subscribers were in one room to watch me edit, I don't think they'd all fit. Now, to celebrate this special occasion, I'm going to be doing a drawing of all the LPS that are on my banner and explaining the story behind each of them, well, as best as I can. Let's get to it!
First off, I want to say, because I realized I forgot to say it, thank you guys so much for subscribing. I could never have gotten here without you all. I'm grateful to each and every one of you. I'm even grateful to those who aren't subscribed and are watching me. Subscribing is like saying, I like your content so much that I want to be here to see the next thing you post. So to start off, you may know Crystal and Jackery from my Christmas Let's Draw video. I guess this video would be considered a Let's Draw too, but I'm not going to categorize it as that since after all, it's a sub special. If you haven't seen that video, Crystal is the Bonbon Cat and Jackery is the Great Dane. These two are a happy couple. These aren't my original ones from childhood, but their names and their status do come from my childhood. They were always the dream couple. They were stable, happy, and awesome, and they still are. Next, the only two LPS I kept from my childhood. I don't actually remember their names, but I gave them names that felt like they could have been their names, which are Samantha and Samuel. Samantha is the poodle with the bow, and Samuel is the one with the scarf. I'm pretty sure the scarf came from a G4 set. Next, we have Sonic. And the only reason I remember his name is Sonic is because of a childhood video I filmed. I remember when I came across Jackery calling him Sonic in the video, I was like, no! Why is his name Sonic? It's one of those things where you just ask yourself, why was he named Sonic? And you accept it because of how funny it is. The original Sonic had a rusty neck that fell inside his head and no tail, so new Sonic is actually an improvement. Last but not least, we have the one and only Mommy Dachshund that I unboxed in another video. I remember getting her in store and being so happy because she was my first G2 Dachshund. I remembered I called her Bree. It took me forever to remember, but I got there, and I think it suits her. For Samantha and Samuel, I used to have their original box they came in, but sadly, I lost it. I think I've mentioned that before in another previous video, but to me, I always viewed these poodles as a boy and girl twin. It's very hard for me to see Samantha as a boy and Samuel as a girl, even if they have the same lash type. But as we know in the LPS community, lashes do not make gender. For the LPS as a whole, Jackery and Sonic were always the fighting type of friends, but they're buddies nonetheless. Sonic is kind of chaotic, and Jackery is a candy-loving jock. And then for Crystal and Bree, I think they were friends, but obviously not as long because of how Bree is a lot newer than the rest of them. I do want to talk about how I obtained Sonic. It's one of those childhood things where you're so ashamed of yourself. So what happened is that I watched an LPS tuber. I think they had Rainbow in their name. I found them again a few years ago while trying to find their videos, and the LPS they had was named Zoe, and she was the same LPS Sonic is. Now to how I got Sonic, I had a friend who also collected LPS, and on the fridge in their kitchen was Sonic. You can probably guess how this went. But there's a little twist you probably won't expect. She wouldn't let me have it, and I was devastated. So I hid him in my bag, and on the car ride home, I pretended to find Sonic in my bag because I felt guilty. And so what I did is once we got to my house, before she left, I traded her some of my LPS for him. That is the one and only LPS I have ever done that with. The only other LPS I didn't get new out of this bunch was Samantha and Samuel. They belonged to my cousin, but I think they were then my grandma's, and I noticed she had LPS on her fireplace and she let me have them. So that's how I got them. If you want to know where and how I got Jackery and Crystal, I highly suggest you watch my Christmas Let's Draw video. Once again, thank you for helping me reach 100 subscribers. Now, I will leave you with silence.
And here is the finished drawing. Once again, thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. See you next week. Bye!